I saw Beetlejuice early in Melbourne. Here are my thoughts.
What the f?
What's up guys, Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more movie content and more pop culture content in general. Okay, so I was really lucky to be invited to the screening of Beetlejuice, aka Beetlejuice 2. I have now said Beetlejuice 3 times, so he might be appearing any second now.
Beetlejuice!
Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid.
The preview screening was at IMAX here in Melbourne, the biggest movie screen in the world, and it was a great location with a great event outside as well. So many people dressed up for this iconic movie, but I do have a confession to make. I never saw the original Beetlejuice. I mean, I have now because I watched it before seeing this one, and to be honest, like, I get why this is a cult classic film. The original didn't really resonate with me as much as I thought it would. That being said, it has so much going for it. I love the Tim Burton direction style. I think the way he crafts these like gothic, creepy, but sometimes comedic and whimsical movies is so good. I think Michael Keaton's performance is a showstopper alongside a young Winona Ryder, which is great.
Work it all the time.
As well as a theme from Danny Elfman, aka the guy who did the Simpsons theme, and you can really hear it here. This movie really works. I just think it would have been better if I saw it when I was younger. Beetlejuice 2 picks up kind of 36 years after the original Beetlejuice and features Winona Ryder returning in her role. Now she is a medium essentially with a TV show that she speaks to ghosts and does like a bunch of ghost whispery things.
It's intense.
And now she has a daughter who is played by Jenna Ortega, who is just one of the most incredible young actors, like right now. She is so good in this and everything I've seen her in.
You're soft and weak. You'll never survive without me. I give you 2 months, tops.
Who has worked with Tim Burton before on Wednesday, and this role or world is really similar, as a lot of Tim Burton stuff is. Jenna Ortega's character is, I guess, a skeptic and like a reasonable person who, if she lived in the real world, would be right, because ghosts don't exist.
I see dead people.
But unfortunately for her, being a skeptic in this world where ghosts actually do exist makes her look kind of silly. But she really doesn't like her mum's sort of ghost thing. She thinks she's a fraud, and she really believes in like science and the reasonable.
Batman's a scientist.
The movie starts almost identically to the original movie with like a sprawling sort of town and the theme music playing over opening credits. And I think an accusation that could be thrown around to a lot of movies that are doing this, a lot of legacy movie sequels, is that they are like nostalgia baiting.
Remember Ghostbusters? Oh, I remember.
There's never gonna not be nostalgia baiting in this, but to be honest, for me, I actually thought this movie really deserved to exist. Like, it didn't feel like it was deliberately trying to just shove as many references down your throat as possible. It actually just felt like a good story and a natural kind of follow-up to the original. Of course, Michael Keaton is again the star of the show. His role here is just so amazing, and I'm so glad Michael Keaton had such a big comeback after doing movies like Birdman. You know, he popped up in Spider-Man, he got to play Batman again, and now he's back as Beetlejuice, and maybe his whole career is capitalizing on nostalgia in a way, because even his sort of resurgence into mass popularity with Birdman was calling back to his career as Batman.
Sorry, can't talk. Late.
But I actually think this guy just is a great actor with such a broad range and such amazing talents that I'm so glad to see him in pretty much whatever he's in. At times, even with the original Beetlejuice, I questioned who the movie was actually for. There were a lot of kids in the cinema, but the movie definitely contains a lot of frightening moments, a lot of like bizarre gothic kind of visuals, and actually has a lot of like adulty sort of references. I'm pretty sure in Australia it's rated PG, which means kids can definitely see it, but I would definitely be very scared if I was a kid watching this movie. That being said, I am a notorious coward, so take that as you will. Going into more spoilery territory, there is a great kind of subplot in which Jenna Ortega's character meets a boy who ends up being a ghost that tricks her into signing a contract to swap lives with him. Really serious stuff going on here, okay? And that kind of leads us into the final act of the movie, which takes place almost entirely in the underworld or the afterlife, which was always such a fun, visually stunning and just just absurd place in the original. There's some really cool things like the soul train, which plays like soul music and has a bunch of soul dancers dancing, and I thought that was a great little metaphor or parody. And I gotta say, like, getting to spend time in that afterlife is something that I feel like we've never had in many movies that I've seen. I would really love more movies to present their visions of what an afterlife could hypothetically look like.
Heaven needs you.
Harry Belafonte's music, which was a recurring motif in the original movie, returns in this one. You know the one, the like, Deo, mi se Deo. That song is so fun to sing. And there is also a great musical number towards the end, which Beetlejuice is controlling, that is just so much fun to watch and rivals a similar scene in the original movie. Overall, as someone who only sort of just discovered Beetlejuice and watched the original, seeing the sequel just completely blew me away. I really had fun with this. It was a great fantasy, adventure, kind of comedy movie. I thought the three leads, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and Michael Keaton, were just absolutely incredible together. And to be honest, I would love to see more movies like this moving forward. So Tim Burton, I don't know, get on it, man. Whew, thank you so much for watching another video, guys. Hey, if you like my content, I'd love for you to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up the video, and all of that stuff. Leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on the original Beetlejuice? Have you seen it? What's your favorite Tim Burton movie? I don't know what mine is, just off the top of my head. I mean, I don't mind Sweeney Todd. I thought that was pretty good. And as well as that, have you seen Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to support me, leave a super chat, please, and or sign up to my Patreon or a one-off donation on PayPal, all in the description below. By the way, I think at the moment it's a really important time to support independent creators, particularly here in Australia. If you're here, the media industry is really collapsing, and I think independent creators are really going to be the future. So if you can support me in any way, it'd mean the world to me. Finally, I do a podcast, I do a blog, I do a bunch of content outside of YouTube, which I would love for you to check out. It is all down there, so check it out, and I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name's Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you later.